legendary Nikki B.
Incredible. Cannot wait to chat with you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I must love you guys. I got here so early.
You got here super early
yeah.
for us. Thank you so much.
And you're never here this early during
Never,
the
I'm a
week.
night person.
No, yeah.
Even my voice. I'm not a breakfast person.
No such.
So it's the most incredible, most phenomenal feeling being here all but a month and I think 2 weeks now, and sitting next to somebody who's been here 25 years.
Yeah.
25 years. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Really?
You know, over those 25 years, I've had so many different kinds of managers who've all said, this might be your last one, this might be your last one.
And it never is.
And it never is. And even for me, you know, there are times that have been difficult times where I've thought,
Yeah, of course.
no, that's it. I can't. And then I get home and I think, but who's going to play Tony Allen on air? Who's going to play? Oh, I haven't played that song. You know?
Man, it's
yeah.
the love of music for
the
me.
love of music,
It's the loyalty for me, and it's the consistency for me.
Yeah.
Hey?
Well, you know, it's interesting. Everything else I've done in my life. There's a point you get bored. You think, let's move on.
Of course.
But the world show I've never got bored of, and I still get like a little bit nervous on my way here, and a little bit excited, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's working with music, and as it's evolved, and it's never the same, and the musicians are never the same.
Yeah.
So,
Where did it all start? I mean, where did Nikki B grow up, you know, and to end up on Kaya in the 90s? I think that's, like, I'm really interested in how that all just came together.
Well, I grew up in Durban. And I left Durban, I think, when I was 19 or 20. And then I lived all around. I lived in Cape Town. I went abroad. I lived in Swaziland.
Wow.
And I was actually teaching in Swaziland at Waterford Kamklaba. I don't know if you know it. It's an international school. But I studied fine art. And my passion was public art.
Can I tell you?
Yes.
I wouldn't put it past you.
Yes.
Meeting you now for the first time, you do look like you have this artistic...
Yes.
Like fine artsy sort of thing about you. Yeah.
So I had this dream when I was in Swaziland to come back to South Africa. The ANC had just been unbanned. Mandela was going to be released. So I thought, no, it's time to come back. And I wanted to study and do public art. That was my passion. And in essence, to cut a long story short, I ended up with Andrew Lindsay. We really started the public art movement, painting murals on the streets.
Whoa.
And sculptures in South Africa, because up until that time, the apartheid government, you couldn't do public art.
Yeah, because
You'd be arrested.
Yes,
Exactly.
yeah.
So that really was my field. And then I started DJing in Yeovil and Bez Valley and places like that.
Can't wait to get into
Yes.
that. That's like the rich history of Nikki B starting her day on 959. So Nikki, out of interest, the favorite spot ever in the world that you've traveled to that really, really plugs into your musical spirit being is what?
I think I've been to amazing places, but I think my experience in France, in Paris, living there twice for like a 6-month period, being able to broadcast the World Show live.
I remember that.
Yes, actually from my studio apartment.
Beautiful.
And I'd have these amazing musicians that I've, waited my whole life to meet. Come in and be interviewed there. And I think that was very special for me. And I think also because Paris is the center of African music internationally.
Wow, really?
Makes sense.
I'm finding this out for the first time.
Yes. I mean, I think it should be in Africa, but nonetheless, it's in Paris. It's where everything happens musically. And not just African music. It really is a center of great music.
I like that. I like that for you. The fact that you've traveled so much. I was telling Sol now that your spirit is a musically well-traveled spirit.
Yes. Well, the plan was, I came back here after Paris thinking I'd go back to Europe and every month do a world show from a different city in Europe.
Yeah.
But then COVID happened. So I've put that on hold for now.
How do you source your music? Because like you get music and I'm like, how did she even come across that? Do people recommend, or do you have a particular site or portal?
people send me music all the time. I mean, it's got to the point where I hardly have to look for music because every week I'm getting music, you know.
I can imagine.
And it's always been like that. But I still do search. I love Bandcamp. I find some amazing gems on Bandcamp. Also,
Never heard of Bandcamp?
Sorry?
I've never heard of Bandcamp.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Bandcamp is a digital portal.
Yeah.
And what I love about Bandcamp is the musicians get their money immediately.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, so you purchased, right?
You
It's
purchase-
none of that free download stuff.
No.
Yeah.
You
I like
purchase,
yes.
yes.
sites where you can purchase.
Yes.
Is it open? Does Bandcamp like host a bunch of genres, or is it just
A bunch of
world
genres.
music?
And I actually find it much more user-friendly
Really?
than, for instance, Apple Music or iTunes.
Yeah.
It's more specific in its genres.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's very, very interesting. We're hanging out with Nikki B. She's starting her day on 959. She is a legendary part of this family that is turning 25 years. So is she turning 25 years, sitting in the seat of her show.
Can you believe?
I
Starting with Kaya
From day one.
from day one, actually a couple of months before
Sure.
we went on air.
Wow. Nikki, I mean, the love is so legit. You know, you are music personified. You are branded, by music. You have a very special relationship with Hugh Masekela.
Very, very special.
Yeah.
In fact, I met Bra Hugh when I was DJing in Yeovil before Kaya opened.
Hey, dope.
Yes, and so he used to call me the Jewish Zulu.
Because aren't you just? Yeah, and his passing must have touched you.
It touched me. Him, and then Oliver Mutukudzi, like on the same day passing. And those were two people who were just so special to me. And in fact, some of my original fans used to come and listen to me play.
Yeah. Nikki, I mean, 25 years at Kaya 959, right? You've seen the many changes. Earlier on, you spoke about the many different managers and the difficult times and so forth. I've always viewed the 959 brand as a boys' club, right?
Yes.
And coming into it, I really do realize it's part boy club, right?
Yes.
How has it been for you as a female within this boy club? Have you been challenged by that at all?
I think the industry as a whole, whether it's broadcasting or music, is a boys' club, and it's what we face.
It is.
But I think the main thing is to do what you're passionate about, and to be, to have conviction about that. I've seen people who are really talented, even musically, but would toe the line too much. Sometimes it's worth sticking to what you know is best.
Absolutely. And the racial thing as well, with the racial demographics here, you are absolutely the opposite by your birthright of what the racial demographic is.
Absolutely.
How did you find fitting in? Did you have to fit in, or did you just flourish in your own uniqueness?
Well, I just think at the end of the day, it's about how you are. It's about how you make people feel when after an interaction with them.
Of course.
And for me, that's the basis of everything, and that's not to undermine the history in this country, the issues around discrimination. But I think in order to live my truth, I have to live my truth, and that is that I respect everyone as a human being.
As I heard the voice notes, I realized so many people love you so much. But do you feel the industry has given you your flowers? Because by now, I would expect somebody like you to be touted as a legend, have received some Lifetime Achievement Award within the music space, because you've really educated so many of us musically.
You've been a classical vessel in that regard.
Thank you so much. No, I don't think I've got the credit. In fact, the one award that I did win, it was a great honor for me. It was the Princess Magogo Award.
I remember that. Yeah.
And ultimately, if I think of that, it was because of a musician that I won that award, which makes it even more special to me. Yes, because of Mbuso Khosa.
Mbuso Khosa.
Yes.
What's the relationship there?
Just as a musician, I think I was the first show that Mbuso was ever interviewed on. But he came to me because he has this award that takes place once a year, and I'm sure it was his influence that I got that award, and that for me is a great honor. Great honor.
Of course. Well, you're flooding Nikki B with love. Keep those voice notes coming. We absolutely love it for her. 25 years of Nikki B on Kaya 959, and it's 25 years of Kaya 959. Your first link ever, Nikki. When this station went live.
I was the worst DJ. I was the worst presenter in the history of radio.
You lie. No way.
It took me a long time to get used to it. I mean, I spoke about painting murals and I'd climb 6 stories of scaffolding in the wind and paint. That was never as scary as going on air.
Really? I can imagine that. I can really, really imagine. Had you come from a history of background, a background of broadcasting prior?
Not at all. I was an artist. I think my teaching experience gave me a little bit of ability to talk publicly.
Yeah.
But really, I was the worst presenter ever for at least 5 or 10 years. I don't know.
No
So,
way.
so who
way, not
discovered
5 or
you
10
then?
years.
From being that DJ and artist, someone who does murals, to say, hey, you could actually work on air.
I must give credit to the man who got me the job on radio, the late, great Peter Makarube, a man who was a living library of South African music, started the Monday Blues. He would come to my gig every Friday night at Poli Poli and Yeovil, watch me sit at the back, check me out. And one day he came up to me and said, "You want a job on radio?" I thought, wow.
Yes. I don't know what I'm going to do, but yes, you're doing it.
I just knew the songs I wanted to play. And in fact, I opened with a Busi Mklongo song, Umenchisi. That was the song I had to open with.
Wow.
And in the beginning, they came to me, my first program manager said, "No, you can't play this kind of music. You can't. We're an R&B station." And I said, "No, I'm playing in the clubs. I know what people want. I see their faces. When they hear Brahu, when they hear Salif Keita, and so forth, you know."
You played Busim Mhlongo Umenchisi as your first song.
The first world show ever.
You were excited about this opportunity and you were attached to that one particular song.
Yes.
As the first song to identify Nikki B as a broadcaster.
Yes.
Why?
Busi Mklongo.
Why Umenchisi?
Umenchisi, I love the actual song, but it was that sense of lighting a fire. You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. Love that for you. Her name is Nikki B, ladies and gents. She's starting her day on 959. Your preference, studio recorded music, Nikki, or live music? For the experience of it.
Yeah, sometimes it's that feeling of wish I was there.
Right?
Feel like I'm there.
Yes.
Your favorite live performance you've experienced?
Oh, my favorite live performance. There have been so many. There's a couple that have brought me to tears, actually.
Whoa.
Just because they were so powerful. Yeah.
Name
I
one.
think, I don't know, Salif Keita.
Yeah, Salif Keita.
Performing in
Salif
Reunion
Keita.
Island, you know, at the Sakifo Festival. That was an amazing performance. Yeah. There have been some amazing ones.
He's
It is 7:43. Her name is Nikki B. She is the woman, the queen behind the World Show. And it has evolved over the years. She's starting her day on 959. So, Nikki, you have been on the air 25 years. How has the World Show evolved over the years?
I think the World Show has evolved quite organically, actually. You know, it's also important for me always to remain relevant. But again, naturally so. It's about not getting stuck in anything. And I think it's definitely evolved musically. In the beginning, there were songs that I just knew I couldn't play. They were way too deep, you know? Whereas now I know I can play almost anything. It depends how you play it. And you'll recognize that as a DJ. But also the features with the artists, giving them that time. Because it is music that deserves to be heard. And it's often music that we don't have access to. And is not easy to come by. So there's a way of spreading that.
Retirement anywhere in the plans?
I'm too young.
Absolutely.
way too young.
This is
You
what I
can't
was
retire.
hoping to hear.
Please don't retire.
Yes.
I'm too young.
Yeah, I love it.
But I think even as a DJ, sometimes I think, you know, I'll be on those decks at 80, spinning.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so too. Even if you can push it to 94, 95,
Why
if you
not?
can, why not?
Why not?
It's healing. It's therapeutic.
Yes.
You know, it makes you happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your vision? You know, because at some point there'll be the last show you do. It may be in the next 10 years, but what's your vision for the World Show post Nikki B?
I think the World Show and Nikki B, it'll have to be a new show because it would be difficult to separate that.
Two big shoes to fill.
But I do have other projects I'm working on, and one of the things, I'll just give you a little hint, is I'm working on a series of projects that are under the theme of the ancient future. And really it's about the relationship of music, nature, and spirituality.
That's the hippie in you.
not forgetting the electro aspect.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Nikki B, thank you so much for starting your day on 959. We're going to send you off with this because we know you love it.
But I must say thanks to you for inviting me.
No, you're welcome.
No, you're
And
welcome,
it's
Nikki.
been great to be here. It was worth getting up so early.
I'm glad.
Sorry about that.
We had fun with you. So we're going to be catching up with you on the 3rd of September.
Definitely.
Yes, anytime between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. at the Wanderers Stadium. You can purchase your tickets at ticketpro.co.za. Quickly before you go, do you know what you're going to curate for us? Because you're a curator.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you don't just play, you curate.
It's going to be like, I don't know, an express version of 25 years.
Oh, beautiful.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. That is at the 25 on the Air event on the 3rd of September. Nikki B, everyone. And to the camera, thank you for watching.
Start your day at 959.